It's interesting because it made me feel less at home and more at home at school.
I really like this thing about American culture that you would dream big.
Hi, my name's Henry.
Hi, my name is Dana. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am from Iran, but I was born in Orlando, Florida. But we moved to Iran with my parents when I was around 4 years old. And I moved back to the United States again 2 years ago. And yeah, here I am. How about you?
I'm from Zimbabwe. I was born there, but I came here when I was about a year old. And so we moved to the DC area then, and I've always kind of lived around here. Initially, I was studying civil engineering until last year, and then I changed my path and went with psychology instead.
That's a big change.
Yeah, a little bit. It's something, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I feel like MC is a really great experience and is a really great place to start, especially for me because I wasn't here for like years. So I didn't go to high school here either. And when I first started at MC, it was kind of hard to adjust to like the educational system and stuff like that, especially like writing long papers because we don't do that in Iran, at least till like you get into the college. So it was kind of hard for me, but now I think I'm actually good at it. So it's a really great experience and it's a really good way to adjust to US educational system. So you were a year old when you moved to US.
Yeah.
And do you know like how your parents felt like when they moved to US? Like was it hard for them or?
They had been debating it for a few years before that, because there was a lot of political turmoil in Zimbabwe at the time, and so they wanted to give my older sister and I a better opportunity here, and so they'd already been here before I was born, and then by the time I was born, they'd already made up their mind.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Have you gone back? Have you visited there, or?
I've been back 4 times.
Oh, really? Wow.
But I haven't been back since I was 8.
Okay.
So, and on that, what was it like for you growing up in Iran?
So I grew up in a small town in Tehran, and I have a lot of best friends there. Not a lot of, there's like 4, but we're really close, and they were like family to me, so that was the hardest part when I moved here. And we're still in touch. We still talk every day.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think Iran is just like a small country that its women are not allowed to wear jeans or legally drive, but that's not true at all. And I learned a lot of stuff there. I was actually a competitive swimmer there.
Oh, wow.
And we get to have national races and stuff, so it was a really good experience for me. And in high school, we get to do a lot of things experientially. Like we have students' senate, stuff like that. And it's a really good memory for me. And I still go back. I went there last summer.
Oh, wow.
And yeah.
For you, having mostly grown up there and then come here only 2 years ago, as you said, how do you feel about like how do the cultures compare to one another, would you say?
I would say at first it was a little bit of a shock for me because I was I moved to Florida first when I moved here. And Florida is very different than Maryland. In Maryland, there are a lot of immigrant people here. So I would say if you're here, you won't feel that kind of like separated and isolated from other people. And specifically at MC, you get to like talk to a lot of people from a lot of different countries. So I think that's a very good experience. And I would say, yeah, at first it was a little bit of shock for me when I first moved to Florida because I didn't know like how I should act or what the culture is there. But after that, I got used to it. Now I can like talk to a lot of people and it's easier, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's interesting because for me, like having mostly kind of grown up here, like as you said, like being here in Maryland, there's a lot of like a strong like immigrant population, and so I never really thought about it all that much. But for like whenever I'd be at home, my family would try to have like because there's a lot of Zimbabweans in the area, and so we'd be like the center of the Zimbabwean community for the area, and so we'd have people from Zimbabwe at our house a lot.
Oh wow!
And so whenever like I was at home around all of them, having mostly grown up here, and unlike you who got to learn Farsi when you were younger, our native language Shona, I never really got to learn it. And so being around all of them when I was younger and like hearing all of them speak Shona, but the words just kind of flying over my head, it was a weird like dichotomy sort of thing. And it's interesting because it made me feel less at home and more at home at school.
Oh, wow.
Just kind of like because I was already used to it. Yeah, it's really interesting here because every group from every different country keep their traditions, I would say. I mean, in Maryland, and then they have their different celebrations all the time. I see a lot of people from Peru. I have a friend from South Africa. I have a friend from Uzbekistan. I have a lot of friends from different countries, and I think that's really cool because you get to know a lot of different cultures. How much would you say you try to integrate yourself into American culture, or would you say that you try to just sustain like your Iranian roots having come here now? I really like this thing about American culture that you would dream big and you would try so hard for it, and you know that you like hard work pays off. And about Persian culture, I would keep the respect for my elders and the kindness to my young ones. And so I would say I would try to attract different parts of every culture. And yeah, how about you? For me, I'd say from Zimbabwean culture, I definitely try to keep like the family sort of feel, because whenever we have someone over to our house, for example, like we almost always try to have a meal with them, because like when you're sitting at the table with them, you feel comfortable with them. Exactly. And so now like
in Iran is like that too.
Yeah, exactly. And so like whenever like I'm around my friends and everything, and my friends always asking what do we want to do, like for me it's always food, like somewhere around food, because it's like I just feel comfortable like sitting at the table and sitting down and talking to them. And a little bit of the respect for elders as well. But I'd say from the American culture, just being open-minded and seeing like all kinds of possibilities. So there are similarities between our culture. I like that. Yeah, no. Yeah. All right, well, it was lovely meeting you. It was so nice to meet you and great to know you. And we should exchange numbers and talk about our stereotypes. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Great conversation.